During planning stages, we continued our heavy use of media technologies to allow ourselves to advance and progress. Initially, we used www.bubblist.us, which allowed us to creatively express our initial ideas in a spider diagram style, which could then be uploaded to our Posterous blog as a form of visual media. We used many online resources to progress with our planning. One of these was the online presentational PowerPoint tool, www.prezi.com, which allowed us to create an interesting and interactive media pitch, which meant our audience could clearly see and visualise our ideas, which allowed us to then gain clear and precise feedback. To gain this feedback, we used www.surveymonkey.com, which allowed us to have interactive, professional and quick responding surveys which could be emailed round to the entire group as soon as they responded. This efficiency and interactivity is a result of Web 2.0, Doherty O'Reilly 2004, as this meant we could quickly interpret this feedback while the pitch was ongoing and make any amendments and consider any suggestions early on in the planning process. We then used www.onlinecharttool.com to analyse our data and present it in a visual manner, which would then make it easier to analyse and refer back to in the future. Once this data had been collected and presented, I was able to complete appendix tasks of analysing this data and interpreting results by importing the images from onlinecharttool.com into PowerPoint and analysed each result individually, converted these slides into JPEG files and imported them into Windows Movie Maker, Nonlinear Editing, Taos 02 and Gauntlet 07. This meant I could again contribute more visual media to my Posterous blog, which makes it much more interactive and visually stimulating. In order to plan for our product, we had to create an imaginary entity, A2 1999, which would determine our ideal viewer and would give us a clear view to who we were targeting by creating this product. To create this ideal viewer, we used Adobe Photoshop CS5 to edit images together in a collage style to accumulate an idea for what interests them and how they live their lives, which would enable us to clearly aim our product as a precise target market. The images we used were things like clothing brands, music they are into, food/drink preferences, and the kind of activities they participate in. Example, the Cineworld logo. This imaginary entity, A2 1999 collage, could then be uploaded to our Posterous blog as a part of our visual media presentation. YouTube assisted in the planning of this product, as all appendix tasks that were completed as movie files could be uploaded onto YouTube to keep them both safe and in one place, and were easily accessible when I was creating the product and reflecting onto my planning. This also meant that the task could be embedded onto my blog, which would provide yet another visual media onto my Posterous blog. Facebook and Twitter allowed us to ask our followers and friends to give their opinions about our ideas in regards to aspects of the project like colour schemes and general consistent themes throughout. This method of feedback allowed us to very precisely target who we were gaining responses from. This was predominantly those in our target audience category, which meant we could directly communicate with them to gain their opinions and views. Chandler, 2002, states that media technologies would change society. The use of social networking allowed us to communicate in a direct and instant manner, as opposed to filling in questionnaires and taking a very indirect and tedious approach. This would have encouraged people less to participate, meaning we would have most likely gained less feedback. Almost every aspect of the planning process was done digitally, via computer, as this made it quicker and easier to complete at this stage, and made sure all my information and progress was in one place and safe, which meant it was easily accessible when I needed to refer back to it. Only two aspects of this project were done by hand, which were my animatic and my drafts for my ancillary products. These could then be scanned in using a ProText scanner and added to my Posterous blog, with annotations and analysis explaining my ideas and how each aspect of design contributed to the final product. My animatic, although this was drawn, coloured and created by hand, did still require a digital technology in order to complete this. I had to scan each individual page of drawings onto the computer by using a ProText scanner. This then allowed me to copy each individual file onto Adobe Photoshop CS5 and crop them individually, and then save them as separate JPEG files. I then placed them in sequence using Windows Movie Maker, Nonlinear Editing software, Taos 02, Gauntlet 07. I then imported the song Everything's Alright in France over this sequence. This then gave an idea of how I wanted my video to look.